Good evening and Happy New Year. I am calling the Ross Township Board regular meeting to order at 6:05 p.m. on January 20th, 2026. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, you may proceed with the roll call.
Supervisor Hutchings.
Here.
Clerk Stage, here. Treasurer Wiersma.
Here.
Trustee Langshaw.
Here.
Beeks, absent with cause. Trustee Harmon.
Here.
Trustee White.
Here.
Rob Thal is present.
Thank you. I am seeking a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
We need to add something to the agenda.
Go forward.
Under new business, we need to put under there the resolution to provide for alternative start dates for the March 2026 Board of Review.
That's in there, resolution on alternative Board of Review dates.
Oh, I'm sorry, then it must be,
Is there a third resolution?
Yes. To
oh,
accept letters of protest.
To accept, I'm sorry, I read the wrong one. A resolution to provide the acceptance of letters to protest from taxpayer residents for the March 2026 Board of Review.
So added,
Yes, we need to
continue.
add that.
Do we have more? That's it? Okay.
I move we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll support.
We have a motion to approve the agenda as presented, namely to add the resolution to accept letters of protest from the Board of Review. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving forward, I am seeking a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion with support to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Moving forward into citizen comment, I am going to allow our guest speaker to lead us off. His name is Kelly Cody. He represents the Coalition of Veteran Service Organizations. Within each board member's packet, there's a stapled set of papers that Kelly will be talking with us tonight about. If you could research those, get those in front of you. And Mr. Cody, welcome, and you may take it from here. Yep, once you tap it. Are you on now? What do we do, Lynn? Is it on? Do I need to change batteries?
Hello, hello, hello.
Good.
Okay, now we're on.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for allowing me to speak to you tonight. You should have three documents in front of you. One is a letter explaining what the Coalition of Veteran Service Organizations is. The second is a copy of our letter from the IRS designating us as a 501c3. And then the third is we're applying for a charitable gaming license, and that's the third document. And the page 3 is the one that relates to the township. I am the president / commander of the Coalition of Veteran Service Organizations in Kalamazoo County. We formed in April of 2024, and all of the VFWs, including the Augusta VFW, are members. All but one American Legion in Kalamazoo County and the Marine Corps League are all members of our 501c3. We formed for three purposes: to address veteran homelessness in Kalamazoo County, veteran suicide in Kalamazoo County, and veteran transportation in Kalamazoo County. I used to be the vice commander of Post 484 in Hickory Corners, American Legion, and we used to do a raffle, and we passed that on to the coalition 2 years ago. because we were not a 501c3 yet. And you can't get a gaming license until you get a 501c3. That is our operational dollars. Without doing that raffle, we would not be able to help veterans. So I'm coming today because we're gonna apply for a gaming license, and it requires our nonprofit to be recognized by the local government. Because we don't have a physical location, my home address is 14487 East C Avenue, Augusta 49012. And since that's in this township, it makes sense to me to come to you all to recognize this. We got our 501c3 license last summer, although they backdated it. If you look at that, it's backdated to February, which is when we were incorporated in the state of Michigan. So since February last year, we've done 501c3, and we've done, not done a raffle. We usually do the raffle in the spring, so it's timely to get it done now, so we can have our spring raffle. And you all can buy tickets if you so desire. So I would, we open any questions, or you, I don't, you can't do that. So, anyway, that's why I'm here.
So you need us to recognize you as an organization within our township so you can do the raffle?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's that last document, page 3. And it basically requires you all to approve it as a board, and then the clerk to sign off on it.
So I will move that we approve this. I'd like to just read, well, let me ask, I'll move the motion to approve the resolution for the gaming license. Do I have a second, and then I'll read it?
I'll support.
So, local governing body resolution for charitable gaming license at a regular meeting of the Ross Township called to order by Christine Hutchins on January 20th, 2026 at 6:05 p.m. The following resolution was offered. It was moved by Trustee Harmon and supported by Treasurer Wiersma at the request of the Coalition of Veteran Service Organizations of Augusta, of Kalamazoo County, in Augusta, Michigan, of Kalamazoo County, asking that they be recognized as a nonprofit organization operating in the community for the purpose of obtaining charitable gaming license be considered for approval.
Would you like to add to that? No? Thank you, Lynn.
So this requires a roll call vote. So Trustee Harmon,
Aye.
Treasurer Wiersma,
Aye.
Clerk Stage, aye. Supervisor Hutchings.
Aye.
Trustee Langshaw.
Aye.
Trustee White.
Aye.
The resolution carries.
Congratulations.
Once I fill this out, Cody, should I mail this to you, or do you want to come pick it up? Okay.
You have my contact, you have my phone number.
Yep, it's in the email.
Very good. We'll get this to you.
You all have been really supportive of veteran issues. This is, I think, the third time I've come to you for veteran issues. I appreciate all the support.
We appreciate all you do to support our veterans. Thank you. Moving forward into public comment for our citizens. I'm dialing up my chimey chime here. Individuals have 3 minutes to talk to the Ross Township Board over matters they deem important for us to hear. Please speak up. The meeting is being recorded for YouTube. We would appreciate it if you clearly state and spell your last name. We do not need an address. Comments are strictly limited to 3 minutes. Citizen comment is designed for one-way commentary to address the board. All citizens providing comments should address their remarks to the supervisor, board chair, who may respond to provide brief, factual information. Board members will refrain from speaking during citizen comment. If citizens need specific assistance, please contact Ross Township during business hours for additional guidance or information. Who would like to lead us off? Welcome.
My name is Rodney Weir, W-E-I-R. I have come to multiple meetings now to talk about a couple of concerns. And quite honestly, I'm looking for some action to be taken on some of the things that I have brought up. I have spoken in front of this board multiple times about the speeding that I see happening on my street, and it is excessive, even with the weather that we've had this week. There is one particular car that's probably driving 45, 50 in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. So, I would like to know what is being done about that situation. Honestly, one of my bigger concerns is just having, now that we have a police officer that is dedicated to our township, having more of a community presence and doing community policing is something that I'm looking for. So having more than an email that may or may not be answered within God knows how long of a time frame, having someone that's out in the community, has a presence, that's meeting people, that's getting to know people, talking to people and listening to them is something that we sorely need. So I know it's not necessarily reasonable to have all the information up, but understanding the hours that our current police officer is covering and how we're being covered outside of those hours is also something that I would be looking for. So having more information on the protection that we have, more communication, more of an effort to get out and reach citizens of our wonderful township to be able to address some of these things. So, like I said, I've come multiple times, and I would like to know what is being done about this concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. There being no other comments, I'm closing the public comment, citizen comment area. 6:18 PM, clerk. Moving into various committee updates, police, fire, ambulance, public safety committee. Who would like to jump up and start us off? Welcome.
No worries. Brian Walls, Vice President of Life Care Ambulance. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a good holiday and New Year. The report that we sent you, I'll start with responses. So for our Priority 1 responses, that's emergency calls, we had 12 total. We transported 9. We canceled on 3. We transported them normal traffic. We had an average response time of 7 minutes and 57 seconds. For our non-emergent response, still considered emergency, just no lights and sirens, 14 total, 6 transports, were canceled, 0 were transported with no lights and sirens, and have an average response time of 16 minutes. Mutual aid between us and Life, Life EMS, we received 3 mutual aid calls, where they gave us 8 and then we gave them 4. For destinations, you can see the total calls and which hospitals that we transported to and what the average transport total calls were for the time. Our staffing for this last quarter for the day truck, it was 100%. For the night truck, it was 99%. Below that, you can see the responses that we responded outside of Ross Township. There's 13 total. 11 of those were emergency, red lights and sirens, and 2 of those were non-emergency. Emergency, again, is A1, and then non-emergency is A2. For our log, there's only one additional. It was for our meeting that we had with the chief here just prior to this meeting. We had discussed 1 call where we had an extended response time. We're looking into that. We'll have details on that at the next meeting. And then 2, we discussed training opportunities for this first quarter and for the year. And then no other issues were brought up, only improvements on the processes that I identified earlier this year. Any questions? I guess, oh no, I do have one clarifying question. The scorecard, the year that we're gonna be reviewing, is it the calendar year, or is it gonna be the contractual year? When we started the contract to when it
I mean, we'll be able to slice it both ways. I mean, yeah,
I'm good with looking at both.
Yeah.
I would think looking at a comparison would be helpful so, that's all. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Before the next person takes the podium, I'm gonna change the batteries out.
Was it hard to hear me?
But you have great documentation, so thank you. It died. I'm getting it ready for our fire chief. Come on, Doug. Come on, Doug. I know you like to talk in the back of the class.
We were trying to decide who's prettier. I got more hair, not much.
Boys, boys, boys. I don't know that. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. There you go.
So this last year, we responded to 512 calls. That's by and far our highest total as of yet. Let's see here. 24, we had 395, I think, and then 2023 we had 470. So it varies in different years. Calls by area, we had 400 in Ross Township, 72 in the village of Augusta, and 40 mutual aid given. And then the type of calls we had, 262 EMS calls, 178 miscellaneous, special service, wires, trees, 30 vehicle accidents, 21 accidents with injuries, 11 structure fires, and most of those we went to Galesburg on 4 or 5 times for house fires. 5 vehicle fires, 4 other fires, and 1 brush fire. Jake has also put together our 18 firefighters responded to 512 calls for service in 2025, totaling 2,506 hours of firefighter time on incidents. That's an approximate 30% increase from 2024. Then also we participated in 783 hours of training and public relations, and which is our haunted house, all the stuff Jake does at St. Anne's with the kids there, the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts that we have up here. So we take pride in doing a lot of service for the community. So it gives us great satisfaction. So there's a couple things that we're looking at. The radios that they're for the county, if they decide they're going to the 800, we did get a invoice, or not an invoice, but a quote for that, which we have, with the interest that we've made on some of the stuff there, pretty much covers what our payment's going to be. So I'm not worried about that. I talked to the FEMA help desk the other day, and he's still supposed to be. He sent me some email stuff. They are looking at possibly opening up another grant period here in the next month or two. So hopefully we can try to do that and see if we can get for our air packs. So is there anything else you can think of, Jake? No, I can't think of anything else either, so that I can think of right now. So, so at any rate, let's see here, from 2014, or let's go 2015. 2015 we ran 203 calls. 2025 we ran 512. So what's that? About a
Busy.
500% increase, 1,000% increase? I don't know. Quite a bit. So, and it's just going to keep going up. So, but I don't know if anybody has any questions or not. So.
I got a question. Based on the call that comes in, I mean, first and foremost, we want to make sure we send out the right care to people. But at the same time, if possible, we want to make sure we don't oversend because if people are committed somewhere else and they're needed. So for example, if we got the, our big engine out there and it's just a, false alarm on something, is there any intelligence that comes in that says, here's what you need to send, so just send this type of vehicle versus we go all out?
Well, I mean, what we do, I mean, so if it's a medical call, depends on how many people we have showing up to the station. If it's a medical call and we only have 2 people, we take my small truck, which has all of our trucks have medical supplies
Right.
on it. If we have 3 or 4 people that are gonna show up, we will take the bigger truck so we don't have people driving their personal vehicles. And, I mean, then you're always worried about, when you have more cars out there, the more chances of any accidents alongside the street, anything like that. I mean, it's kind of like the
But
chief. that-
being volunteer, and so, I mean, people have lives, have other jobs. I mean, if suddenly, like, they all showed up on a call, would everybody go out? And even if you didn't need everybody?
Not necessarily. I mean, so it's kind of one of those, if it's just a small medical call, 3 or 4 people can handle it.
Yep.
So, like, a lot of times I'll come up here, if the truck is gone, I'll sit up here in case we have another call. I can respond for another call for another truck, and there might be people from Augusta or that. So we don't send everybody. I mean, so there are some people that just respond from home right to the call. Then there's other people that respond up here and take the trucks. So, I mean, but we try to make it so we have resources to handle. I mean, because there's quite a few different times when we'll have 2 calls coming at the same time,
Right.
or so.
We rely on the first units that arrive on scene to make that determination, whether it's a POV, a personal vehicle, or a truck. They get on scene, they can do a quick patient assessment and determine if there's additional need or if we can cancel when everybody returns back to the station.
Okay.
And that's
So-
Yeah.
any call, whether
Yep.
it's patient, medical, or fire alarm, any of that type of
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like this morning, we had a house that had smoke in it on South Sherman Lake Drive, and Rob got there, was able, after we got to the house and found the the residents, they were upstairs, up in their garage, up the hill, but found out that it was just the pump switch had burned up. So that area is an automatic aid with Galesburg and Richland. Those trucks were coming, but they pretty much were there by the time we were able to get everything figured out and cancel them. But it's always easier to cancel than it is to have to wait and get there and then, oh crap, we should have had two other departments coming. So we just soon do it that way. And it's like this morning, it was great to be able to just say, no, all we did was have to vent the house and that was it, so.
And one of the changes we put in place last summer was to identify some high probability times, I think, and so that we would have maybe some paid.
Yeah, and we've tried to,
Did we do
we've
that?
handled that on the different, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. We had who was gonna be around. And it's still one of those that I think we had a few calls on any of the different times, and then there's some days when we've had 5 or 6 calls come in for whatever, it could be any day of the week.
Right.
So you never know. I mean, we can plan all we want, but we still have to
No,
depend on
it's playing the
automatic
odds,
aid.
trying
So,
to,
But, yeah,
very hard to predict.
right.
no, but,
Tends to be when it's dinner time or a holiday. Sometimes a holiday, but dinner time particularly.
yeah, about 3:00 in the afternoon on Sunday, so, but, no. Any other questions?
No, so Jake, nobody can hear you when you're back there, so maybe you want to come up to the podium because you offer incredible insight, and it's good to have you both here. It's good to have you both here, and I want to make sure that your comments are being,
My apologies.
no, you're
I
okay.
forget about that.
You're okay. So I just wanted to make an observation.
Yep.
This document is outstanding. So
Thank
you knocked it out of the park. This is fantastic representation of how busy we are in Ross Township.
Yep.
I remain always in awe when I watch you guys fly in here and get in your trucks and fly out sometimes, 2 and 3 times a day. So thank you for your service.
Yeah, you bet.
One of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about with this board, I know Doug brought up air packs and a grant. I believe we talked about air packs a year ago. So, did we not get the grant?
We did not get the grant from, that we were in with Hickory
Go by the microphone.
and we did not get the grant that we were in with Delton and Hickory. If this does happen, which, like I said, this was the guy that runs the help desk. He sent me an email, said that they were planning on opening up another grant in the next month, 2 months. So Jake thinks that this next time that he can do the grant rather than try to maybe participate with the other departments. We'll just do it on our own. We'll see what happens. I have checked, so there is on their bottles, but from what I can find from everything else, there is actually not a end of life for the air packs, as long as they pass our testing, to have them tested, which we have them tested every year. In fact, I just had them tested in, I think it was December, when they were here, tested. So we have them tested. So, so it's not like these things are going to, that we're unsafe with them. Because they're passing our testing. Would we like to have new packs? Yeah, they do wear and tear on them. So we have some of the face masks, the straps and that hold them tight will, from getting clean different times and the water and all that they will deteriorate. But they are tested. So we try to stay up on all that stuff so everybody is as safe as possible. Now the air bottles have the carbon ones have a 15-year life cycle. So we have to replace those every 15 years. But
Where are we at with that life cycle?
there's
So I think as a command staff as a whole, we sat down. Brandon has a great document that kind of lays everything out with bottles, with the end of life on those. So we kind of made a determination that we feel comfortable that we can go one more grant process and try to shoot for that, see if we can succeed in getting the grant money. If we don't, then I think after that point, we would be looking at purchasing out of the budget.
So is the grant for the whole unit with new bottles, or is it just the bottles?
So it's going to be SCBA, so it's going to be the packs and the bottles. So basically it'd be a pack and then 2 bottles for each pack.
And how many do we, if we were to outfit everybody, how many do we need?
I think when we did the last grant, we looked at about 22 to 24.
And how much are they, a unit?
So I think the grant total was, the money-wise was, I think, what, 150,000-ish?
well, no,
Wasn't
it was.
Microphone.
It was almost $350,000 with the air fill station. So the packs were like almost $10,000 a pack. So so 22 to 24, that was going to be $250,000 just for the packs with the bottles, and then the air fill station, which is a station that we can fill our bottles here rather
Yeah.
than having to go to
Richland.
right out of Richland.
Yeah.
So that's like a $60,000.
Would you
Piece of
like
it-
to
piece
have
of-
that?
Well, I would like to,
Yeah.
but it's a convenience, not a necessity right this minute.
Yeah, so basically with the air fill station, again, like what Doug said, it's not a necessity. We do have the means to be able to fill, but by getting one within our own department, it would allow us to not worry so much when training. We could actually train with the bottle, our SCBAs on air more often, and not have to rely on a firefighter and then an additional firefighter from a different department to fill our bottles for us. It'd save some time and allow it so if there was a call, if there was a potential where we had to use the bottles, and
How much
have
is
them
just
ready to
the
go.
fill station?
60.
It's about 60,000.
60.
Yeah.
So this is good information, and thank you for explaining it so thoroughly. And I just want to bring the board back to, this is a point in time where we had this conversation with the fire department a year ago, and I feel badly that we don't have your breathing apparatus fulfilled for you. And I think that's a huge priority for all of our firefighters to have, even though it is meeting the test and you are passing the test. I think it's very important that we look at the firefighters and understand that we've already missed an opportunity for a grant. They're earnestly trying to get a grant. So obviously, there's a priority that they place on this. And I would surely like to see, I surely would like to see an investment in the breathing. This continues to come in, and I'm concerned. And so I
mean,
wanted to bring that back to this board.
Yeah, I mean, so by all means, like the equipment that we have, it is safe. It's tested every year. Granted, it's not the top of the line technology. Obviously, look at our phones and computers. Technology progresses very fast, and there's new technology in the fire service and air packs. For example, like ours are 30-minute air bottles. The kind of the standard now are 45-minute air bottles, so it's a higher pressure, smaller bottle. So that'd be something that we'd be looking to pursue at that time when we do make that purchase. But there are other items on the list too. I mean, as a command staff as a whole, I mean, one of those items is truck replacement. We have an engine in Augusta that is well past its life period. So that's another item that we would be looking at. Again, as a command staff, we have agreed that that's kind of should be a priority as well, because when there's a fire, I mean, if that's the first truck that's on scene, I mean, we want to make sure that that's top of the line, again, with technology and that type of stuff. So those are going to be the two big ticket items that we're going to be looking at for the future ahead, is SCBA's and apparatus replacement.
How many individuals refill their own bottles? How many fire departments refill their own bottles?
It's hard to say. Some, I mean, so Richland has one. Does Galesburg? I don't know if I don't think Galesburg does. Hickory does not have one. Comstock has one. So it's, I mean, there's.
Where does Hickory go to refill? To
I believe they
Richland?
go to Delton, or Hastings actually has a mobile station. So if they have a fire, they can have a trailer that comes out to the fire, and they can fill on site.
Well, I will wish you luck in your upcoming grant endeavor, and we'll think positive thoughts, but breathing apparatus is extremely important and very important. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, great job on the reporting, great job on the commentary. Okay.
Right now, as far as the police department goes, it's, should report that the citizens of Ross Township know how to drive.
Good.
In all this fun weather we've had lately, we've been spared a rash of accidents that have plagued the rest of the county and the state. So I will comment to something that was out there on social media. It is true, I did lose a snowball fight to a gang of delinquent 5-year-olds. His son was a gang leader. I am working on a retaliatory strike, but since they're firefighter kids, I've got to find cops that are willing to go into the fray there to get justice for us old farts. As you can see on the list there, we've got a couple significant fraud investigations going on, well over $100,000. Working on those right now, and the rest of it's pretty standard. We got any questions there?
So I think one of the things that's lacking, and I wanted to just kind of tie in your dialogue that you're doing right now with the individual that spoke during public comment, is we know you're out interfacing in the community.
Yes.
What you lack is this. So what we have is an individual that, you know, is requesting to know what's going on in our police department and the good that you're doing with the schools and allowing the gang of snowballers to attack you and you taking it in stride.
Yeah.
We know that you did a arrest backup to Richland Village, and I know
Yeah.
you didn't want to talk about it because you said it's all in a day's work.
Yeah,
However, we
it's-
had individuals that asked, what is Ross Township doing down there? These are things that I encourage you to bring forward. I would like to see our Public Safety Committee grasp this information and somehow look at our fire department marketing and be able to either combine it or be able to share that information, because he just represents one individual saying,
Yeah.
I don't see and I don't know what's going on. We know you're busy. How can we let the residents know you're busy?
Yeah.
That is going to be our challenge for the Public Safety Committee.
Yeah. And like I said, I back up Richland all the time. They back up me. It's mutual aid type. In that particular situation, they arrested a gentleman and they had a significant problem. They couldn't fit him in the vehicle. He was too big. And so I went down there and transported him because we could fit him into our vehicle, just because he was such a massive individual. So, but yeah, that is routine. You'll see me in Richland. You'll see them here in Ross daily. It's just the way the job works, you know. Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Yes, I think it's a good segue into our still fairly new Public Safety Committee. And, we're trying to get our arms around how to get some communication out, and not so much maybe help create stuff, but where it's already created and doing a great job, get it out. But I think when you look at, how are the citizens covered? I mean, so what do they need to be covered by? I mean, it's the three kind of, you got the fire, the ambulance, and the police. And I think when you look at you hear the term mutual aid mentioned in all three. So we have like this web of protection that has been, it's not just we suddenly did it. From a fire department standpoint, has been there for quite a while. And that web of protection is, the Ross Augusta handles Ross Township, but they can't always, all the surrounding communities, the small ones, are all volunteer. And so that web is helping to cover each other. And you have on the edges where it's closer for one than the other. And so it's that, we give mutual aid gladly, they give mutual aid. Same thing, even the ambulance, even though it's not a Ross Township asset, we heard them talk about it, that you got life and life care, and that they back each other up when they need to. And we kind of copied that as we created the police. So we essentially have 24/7 coverage. We don't have 24/7 coverage sitting on every street and in front of every house, but we have our fire chief, our one person department,
Police Chief.
police chief, our one person police chief department, who brings that community policing to it. And I've been in Stony Creek neighborhood during Halloween when he's on the bike riding around and interacting. But we also have the agreement with Richland, and so when he's not available. And that available could be he's at court, could be he just got done working, and we will never publish the hours. And the reason we don't is, unlike fire and ambulance, we don't want people to know when he is on duty and not. But when he's not on duty, we have Richland and we have the county, which we pay in the neighborhood of $400,000+ of our taxes from Ross Township that go directly to the county. And the county officers, I mean, I've interacted with many of them for good reasons, not for bad. And they're wonderful, but they have the whole county to patrol. But so our taxes go to them to cover. So we have our own chief, we have the Richland coverage, and then we have the county coverage. So we should rest assured and be confident in Ross Township that we have a multi-layer focus. And now the next step is how to communicate. Does that mean no one's ever going to speed? You know, they do. And it doesn't mean there's never going to be any crime, because there is. But I think people in this area, with the support we have from Richland and others, they know not to mess with Ross Township, because we're gonna be on them. We're gonna be after them. We don't want them in the community. So we got to do better. It's not just about the messaging, but there is, because sometimes I feel people use that. You know, they maybe don't like what they're seeing, so we're like, oh, we just got to do a better job messaging. I think we do, but I think we also need to make sure that they are seeing what they want.
Excellent job explaining that. One of the other things I wanted to follow up on is that one of the things that the citizens don't understand or realize is that when Martin is off, Chief Martin is off, county will defer calls to our police chief. And so county, even though, like you mentioned, and this isn't a negative against county, because their statutory duty, their constitutional duty, is to patrol the roads and to manage the jail as well as the court process service. They're not always going to be able to come out and take a police report. They're not going to sit out here and run radar. They're going to defer to our police chief to make those calls. We do have individuals that have called in and said, well, I started my my complaint with county, and they patched me through to Ross Township Police Department. That will always happen unless there's an active violence threat, something happening, and they've got to come out here. So what I don't want individuals to take away from Lynn's awesome description of our safety web out here is that Martin is one individual, and he's sitting with his feet up on his desk because county is doing stuff and Richland Village is doing stuff. They're all coordinating together, and I dare say, even though the taxes are going to county, they defer their calls back to Martin because this is Martin's jurisdiction. And even so, when Richland Village takes calls here, Martin gets the calls back. So it always does come back to Martin, and that's the reason why he is so busy, and we're grateful to have him. And I'm excited that the Public Safety Committee is going to be able to snap all this together so individuals understand it in the community and not just at this table in this room.
Does not mean that there's not an opportunity to improve our community policing and building the relationships, because that is important.
Very. Thank you for that. Martin, did you have anything you wanted to? No? Anything else for the Public Safety Committee?
We just got to get back after getting our scorecard put together. I got a lot of really good comments, and we, one of the things that sometimes when you're putting a scorecard together, you got to make sure what's important. So sometimes we get to what we can easily get our arms around, but is that really what's important? So specifically to the ambulance service, I mean, what do people care about? It's how quickly did they get there? The quality of the service once they got there, really. There's a few other things, and so that's what we're going to really try to be focusing on around that. And I appreciate they've been working with getting us some more detail. And sometimes you can't just look at the percentages. So looking at some of that detail behind just for our own edification.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll be in better position in February with something more
Perfect.
concrete.
Thank you, Lynn. Anybody else have any comments? Okay, moving forward into old business. Are you plugged in? There you are. Moving into old business, the contract for fire services with the Village of Augusta.
All right, so just in.
Why do I feel like, are you on it?
Okay. All right, just a brief update. I've talked with the village attorney and understand what their issues were with the draft contract. I've made revisions to try to answer those questions they had and concerns. I've provided that back to the village attorney. I would expect, it didn't get back to them for their meeting this, the first week of January, so I would expect a response back, no later than their first meeting in February. The ultimate goal, I would think, is to make sure that we have a contract in place before our next fiscal year. That's just my thought on that.
Thank you.
Rob, I mean, could you tell, did their attorney seem good with where you were able to get to with him?
I think that the things that I revised are things I talked with them that I was going to revise. And so I would hope they do answer their questions. It's not necessarily exactly what they might want, but I think it does exactly answer their questions and why we might be asking for certain things and not agreeing to other things.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Thank you, Attorney Thal. Moving forward into new business, we've got several New Year resolutions in Ross Township. We're going to take off right here, doubling back with our coalition of veteran service organizations. We need to have a resolution officially completed. We already did that, correct? Okay, so I'm going to cross that off our list. Moving forward into the Road Commission par funding for 2026, that is off our list. Perfect. I'm moving into ZBA. We did have an individual resign. We did have 2 candidates apply and be interviewed for the Zoning Board of Appeals Commissioner. And after 3 individuals went through the interview process, questions, reviewed the application for employment, it is recommended to me that Bruce Bond is going to be our replacement for the Zoning Board of Appeals Commissioner. So at this time, I would like to ask the board to get behind my recommendation that Bruce Bond take the open seat for the Zoning Board of Appeals Commissioner. And I'd be seeking a motion.
I'll make a motion for that.
I'll support it.
We have a motion with support to appoint Bruce Bond.
Can you just tell us a little bit about him, just briefly?
He's an individual that has lived in Ross Township for decades. He worked at Bond Tool and Engineering. He was owner and president, so he's got some small business experience. He is very interested in joining our board and making a difference. I really enjoyed the standard questions that they asked. They were able to talk about, have you ever had an individual ask you your personal opinion about a zoning matter? Interviewed very well, was able to navigate the ability to think critically, apply appropriate zoning knowledge, legal direction, and leave no stone unturned when you're dealing with a ZBA matter. So he comes highly recommended by individuals in the ZBA. Rob, did you have anything you wanted to add about the appointment?
No, I don't.
Okay. Meets the ability to meet, available, ready to get started as soon as possible. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving forward into, I am asking the board to approve my signature on the contracts for Preen Newhoff. Tom Wheat has been our engineer for decades. Every year we have to do a new contract for service that is in the board packet. And as you all know, I can't sign it without the authority given to me by this board.
Make a motion that we approve you signing
I'll support.
Newhoff.
We have a motion and support that I sign and bind Ross Township with the Preen Newhoff Engineering contract. Is there any further discussion? We only use the engineer when we need their approval or work on property.
Yeah, projects.
Property and projects, okay.
How long is this contract for?
It's annually. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. I will sign and execute that and send that out tomorrow. We did have an individual ask to be considered for the HVAC and the park water facility maintenance contract. Because I manage that contract, I did turf it over to the clerk, and the clerk can talk about the bids that were received. I did include them in the board packet, and she did review them.
I reviewed both the contracts over this past week. Both of them were well-written, and both people seemed like they want to have the job. However, GeoStar, I think, had more of what we're looking for. They included the winterization of the park, which is something that was not in the other one. And they were less costly overall than the other bid. So I recommend that we go with GeoStar for our yearly maintenance on our boilers, et cetera, in the park for this year of 2026. 27.
Thank you. We have a motion. I'll support. With support? Yep. To maintain the GeoStar for our HVAC and park water facility maintenance contract until next year. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Moving in, we've got 3 resolutions. They're all for Board of Review. We've got a resolution updating the state poverty exemption for 2026. Clerk, would you like to take over the resolutions? And for our visitors that are tracking with us on YouTube, the state poverty exemption will be loaded on the Ross Township website under the assessors area and the Board of Review area. That will be an updated document. So anybody who needs that information can either contact Ross Township and get a copy or look for it on Ross Township's website, and I will upload it tomorrow. Clerk, you may proceed.
Okay, the resolution to update the state required poverty level income standard for property and tax property exemption guide for the year 2026. I'm sorry. So, I think.
Roll call.
Wait, we have to have a motion. I move that we accept this poverty level income standard that is here in our packet.
Also, very good. We have a motion and support to accept the resolution updating state required poverty level income standards for property tax poverty exemption guidelines for tax year 2026.
Okay, Clerk Stage, yes. Supervisor Hutchings.
Aye.
Trustee Wiersma. Oh, Trustee Harmon.
Aye.
Trustee Langshaw.
Aye.
Trustee White. The resolution carries.
Thank you.
The next resolution for the Board of Review is the alternative start dates for March of 2026 for the Board of Review. I resolve that we accept this resolution as printed in our packet.
Support.
We have a motion and support to accept the resolution to provide for an alternative starting dates for the March 2026 Board of Review. Clerk, you may proceed with the roll call.
Trustee White.
Aye.
Trustee Langshaw. Supervisor Hutchings.
Aye.
Clerk Stage, aye. Treasurer Wiersma.
Aye.
Trustee Harmon.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Thank you.
And then the last one is the resolution to provide and accept letters of protest from taxpayers, residents for the March 2026 Board of Review. I resolve that we accept this resolution.
I'll support.
Trustee Harmon.
Aye.
Treasurer Wiersma. Aye. Clerk Stage, aye. Supervisor Hutchings.
Aye.
Trustee Langshaw. Aye. Trustee White.
Thank you. Moving forward into the final few pieces that we have going on today, we need to set and review our upcoming budget workshop dates. So I'd ask everybody to.
I think we had
Did.
we set them to be the hour prior to the meeting, so February and March, 5 to,
5 PM for
5
the
to
next 2
6.
meetings.
yep.
What was the one day?
It's our budget workshop meetings, so,
February 17th
Oh, 17th.
and March 17th.
Will March be your hearing then?
yes.
What's your plan for?
At 5 PM. Thank you for confirming.
So you'll have to get something into the,
Yeah, it's got to be
right,
published.
right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, there should be no reason that we're not done in February, but should something happen, we'll just put a meeting in between then and March, and we will make March happen.
Yeah, the notice only has to be published 6 days ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, we can obviously publish it sooner.
Yeah.
But I would wait until after February. Even-
Right.
Even think about that for publication.
Yep, but we should be good.
Thank you. Moving forward into the final portion of our meeting, this is the second citizen comment. I'm asking, this is the speed round. This is where individuals can jump up and share information with the board. You have 1 minute during your speed round. Who would like to lead us off? Everybody's sitting quiet. Next up, we have trustee updates. Is there anything any trustee would like to share with this group at this time?
Is the fire budget done at our regular, the amended one for 25, 26? We already have approved it as far as the fire board.
The fire board's already approved.
Right,
Does it then come to the township board?
right.
We'll just put it in, the February,
February 1.
when we do our budget workshop. So just have on the agenda to approve, to review and approve the updated fire budget for 25, 26.
I just want to make sure we don't forget it.
Nope, very
It
important.
had to be at Augusta's meeting in January, so that's why we had to have it done. So it's completed. So I have to sign the forms that, I mean, that's what we do. And the village needs to get one too.
Questions? Any other trustee comments?
Yes. I just want to inform the board that I will be bringing to you probably next month a new county early vote agreement because Richland Township has decided to drop out of the agreement. I have gone through and looked at, our budget and what the county is still presenting us as to what we would have to pay as a township to still belong to that agreement. And it is still in our best interest to go with them. It will cost us less staying with the agreement than it would trying to do this on our own. And I also looked into hooking up with some other townships that have fallen out of the agreement and going with them. And it still comes to our best interest to go with the county because they offer 4 different locations for our people to vote, where if we go with the other townships that have pulled out, there's only one. And the time, the locations of the county agreement, I think best suit our residents. So we're still working on some final changes to that. Obviously, I have to get it to Rob to review one more time, and then it'll be in our board packets next month for me to sign, so.
Richland say why they were pulling out?
No.
Okay.
How many have pulled out from before?
One one township that went without the agreement the first year, and now there are a total of, I think, 6 that have pulled out. So,
What's the location closest to us?
the Expo Center will still be the location that is closest for us, but then there are also, if you work in Portage, there's one in Portage, and there's also 2 in Kalamazoo for people to go vote, so it's still, I think, the best option for our residents.
Thank you for that update, important update. Anything else? It is 7:05 PM. I am seeking a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and support. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Everybody, thank you for coming to Ross Township, being online with us. Have a great night.